Today we are going to talk some more about Princess promotions. We're going to talk about some cruise ports. I've got fun information for you on some itineraries that really caught my eye, as well as a Princess promo and another promo that I think you should be aware of. We've got lots more to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Wednesday. It's August 23rd of 2023, and I would like to first ask you to please subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, and if you would like to stay up to date with everything that we talk about that has to go with cruising and all of the travel that goes with cruising, make sure you hit that little bell notification there so it'll let you know. And also, if you appreciate my videos, would you please give this video a thumbs up? I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Now let's start off talking about super quickly about Tropical Storm Franklin. So Tropical Storm Franklin is down in the Caribbean area right now, and with it being Wednesday, this is the day that some cruise ships were due to call in the ports there in the Dominican Republic. They ended up closing their ports yesterday afternoon, and so I know that the Carnival Magic and the Carnival Celebration are definitely being rerouted. They are not going to the ports that they had initially planned on, and I know that it's really hard to think that you're not going to go to Grand Turk and some of those other places in the Eastern Caribbean that you had planned on. They are going to call, it sounds like, in Nassau and the Bahamas. I think Nassau is always a nice idea. The water there is so extraordinarily beautiful, and I think it's a really nice port. There is so much to see that you can take a boat ride and go down and see beautiful places. You can go to, there's some private little islands there that you can go to and enjoy relaxing at the beach, as well as resorts. When we went there in January of 2021, they were in the really quite early stages of rebuilding, making a beautiful cruise terminal area there. And when I was there last December, it was even more beautiful. Wait, it was in January of 22 we went there. So sorry. We went there during the height of Omicron, and it was the most magnificent cruise. There was 25% capacity on board the ship, so it was truly like just about having your own ship. We will never forget those days. But anyway, so Nassau I don't think is a bad idea. If it's not where you're wanting to go, then maybe, but I think the key is to enjoy being on a cruise ship and going where you get to go. I would really love to hear from any of you who are sailing in the Caribbean right now. Let us know how it's going, would you? Now, the next thing that I wanted to let you know super fast, I love all of your comments from our video yesterday. I mentioned it was a rumor. I think it's maybe a little bit more than a rumor. Even since yesterday, I have seen more news reports that say that it sounds like we're going to go back to masks, at least on flights this fall. Someone pointed out that there's a lot of things people pointed out. Read the comments if you would like to, but I'll keep you up to date and let you know if they start requiring masks again. Now, the cruise port there in Barcelona, you all know how much I love going to Europe, and Mediterranean cruises are my thing. And Barcelona is often the stopping or ending port for some of them. And the city there, Barcelona, I told you a few months ago that they were looking at reducing the number of cruise ships that they allow into port on a daily basis. Well, they've gone ahead and made up their mind that starting in October, they are going to allow fewer cruise ships into port on a daily basis. And the way they have decided to do this, if they have decided that some of the docks that some cruise ships use are no longer going to be able to be used for docks and for cruise ships, and it's going to be the ones that are closest to the city there. They said they don't want the pollution that goes with that. So every time that I have sailed in and out of Barcelona now, which is several, every time it has been with Princess, and it has always been right next. They have a beautiful cruise terminal there, and it's been right in that place. So I, quite frankly, am not sure, and I'm going to make myself more aware and let you know which cruise ships tend to use which docks more, because then we will know if we have to be worried about going into or out of Barcelona on certain cruise lines. But I wanted to make you aware of those changes, so I've made myself a note to try to follow up with that a little bit and see what the the rest of the story is as far as which cruise lines will be affected the most. You know what? It amazes me. Whenever you hear that one port is cutting down, it seems like there is always another port that either comes online to receive cruise ships or that wants more cruise ships coming. I think a lot of it depends on the financial situation in some of these ports that would like to have a little bit more of the tourist dollar coming, as well as everything else that comes with a cruise ship docking there. It's a lot more even than just tourist dollars. A lot of cruise lines will take on a lot more food and supplies, all sorts of things that really helps a lot of the businesses there, the farmers there. So it's a boon in a lot of other ways than just kind of what meets the eye when you at first glance. So I think that our future is bright with cruising, even in that region. Alrighty, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about Princess Promotions here again really quickly. So Princess Promotions, if you are not familiar with it, Princess has partnered with a third-party company to sell vacation packages pretty much. Clearly, Princess is doing everything they can to get money as early as they can for any cruises they might sail. And so what you can do is so what they basically do is sell packages, and there are different packages. I'm not aware of all of the packages, but you buy packages and they will include Princess Future Cruise credits, as well as they can have like hotel stays included. Onboard credit is often included, and then some other perks, like if apparently they've got a refer a friend type program that if you buy a package and your friend buys a package, each get $200 off of the package that you buy. But I would really like to hear from some of you that have bought these packages. I know we've got a Let's Go family member who was just on board a cruise in Alaska, and they were actually selling the cruises, those packages on board the cruise ship. And so here's the whole thing that I want you to think about. First of all, a lot of people say they are still being called about this. I'm not saying it's not, it's this third-party company calling, but one of the things that worries me is they say, hey, I'm your new Princess Vacation Planner. People have reported that then they call their real Princess Vacation Planner, and that vacation planner will say, nope, I haven't quit. I'm still here. And so that worries me a little bit. The other thing that I want everyone to keep in mind is that this is a third-party vendor, and so as you are thinking about getting a package, just make sure that you understand how it works. I know that I worry for everyone, but just make sure you know how it works, make sure you know how the hotel stays work and everything that go with it, and then let us know how it works for you, because once we have some of you that actually use it and you let us know how it goes, then the rest of us will be more well informed about if it's worth it and how the whole thing is managed. Okay, one caveat I do have for you is that when you buy one, no sooner than later, know what you want to use those future cruise credits on, because my experience with working with future cruise credits still to this day, there are times that a cruise line will say those future cruise credits are gone when nope, they have not expired yet, and then we have to get the documentation that fortunately the person saved showing that showing that future cruise credit and the expiration date. So cruise lines, I don't think, are notorious. And my working with Princess, sometimes they hit the nail on the head and get it just right with future cruise credits, but there's also a lot of trouble that still goes with it. So know what you're going to use them on, and go ahead and use them sooner than later so that nothing happens. And like I said, I am really anxious to hear about this, because if it turns out to be a great thing, then more of us will know to look for that when we board the cruise ship. And if it turns out to be hard to use or not as smooth as we'd hope, we will also be aware of that. Another important thing to note is that if you buy one of those, you can still use that with your travel agent. If you've got a travel agent that you really like, or you have one that you want to use, they can still help you use those virtual cruise credits to book your cruise. So don't think that you just have to go with the Princess Vacation Planner type person that calls you, that sells it to you. Know that you have flexibility there, okay? And yeah, like I said, I would love to hear your experience on this. Now, the next thing, a promo that you all need to be so aware of is until August 25th, if you book a Princess South America or Antarctica cruise, you get an amazing amount of onboard credit. It depends on which category of cabin that you book, and so be aware of that. But for a regular balcony cabin, you get $900 per person. So think of what that will do, that you can use that for excursions. If you would rather use it on a package, like the Plus package or the Premier package, just wait till you get on board the cruise and then go to the customer service that first day and tell them you would like that added, and then you can apply that onboard credit towards that package. But it really, to me, opens up the world, because when you look at these cruises, you look at the price, but then knowing that you're going to get an amazing amount of onboard credit, it really changes the economics of it. So I just wanted to tell you some of the cruises that this applies to. So this is the Princess Cruises that they just announced in July, when I first told you about this, that sail. They are at the end of 2024 and early in 2025, okay? And there are cruises that go to Antarctica. There are cruises that don't go to Antarctica, that go down around Cape Horn and back up, as well as some really amazing South America voyages. We're used to hearing, I know MSC has a really strong market share there in South American cruises, but it's really nice that Princess is getting in the game. And you know what, Holland America is in the game more and more too, so we should talk about that another day. But really quickly, they've got 18-day Andes in South America. They've got a 14-day Cape Horn and Strait of Magellan cruise. They've got a 15-day Cape Horn and Strait of Magellan cruise. Also, they've got an 18-day Brazilian adventure. It goes to all these ports in Brazil. Who would have thought? And then the 17-day Antarctica cruise, that runs like 4 or 5 times. So you've got some flexibility on dates there. And keep in mind that when you think of like the seasons, during that time, that is their summertime down there. So you're going to get the best weather that you can get when you go in that window that's like your December or January. They don't run Antarctica cruises after December and January, but they do run some South America cruises right through March. And they've also got a 32-day Andes and Cape Horn Grand Adventure, a 35-day Antarctica and Grand Brazilian Adventure, and then finally they've got that 51-day South America Grand Adventure. The only complaint that I have that I think is hard for people with that 51-day is it's over Christmas time. It goes on December 1st of 2024. And I know some people love to be on a cruise ship. That Carnival Jubilee is remarkably sold out for her inaugural, and it's December 23rd of 2023 out of Galveston. So we'll talk about the Jubilee a little bit more tomorrow. Another thing that I wanted to make sure y'all know about, we have been talking here more and more about trying other cruise lines, especially because we see these pricing changes that have come not only to Princess, but truly I've done a lot of looking at things. And when you think of booking your cruise on your Carnival, your Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Princess, Celebrity's trying to separate themselves there with the luxury that they offer. But really, when you look at booking a cruise with those cruise lines, and especially when you add a package, you are getting closer and closer to these cruise lines that have so much more included. So Star Clipper, which they have these beautiful sailing ships, and they do cruises. Anyway, they have an amazing promo that you have to book by September 30th of 2023, but you get a $1,000 air credit and 2 free excursions per person. So, and they're for cruises that go, just some of their select, not for all of them, but for select cruises that run in 2023 and 2024. And so some of the ones that I like the very best is they have one that goes from Venice to Rome. They have one that goes out of Greece, that goes to a bunch of Greek islands, as well as some of the smaller villages on the Italian coast. And then one that goes round trip out of Athens, that goes to the northern and southern Cyclades, I think is how you say it, and also visits Turkey. So really a whole different way of seeing these places. And here they're giving $1,000 of air credit, which is really nice because those plane tickets have become so expensive. Finally, I told you I was going to talk about Voyages more and some itineraries because we all need to know what's out there so that we choose what we want the most when we book a cruise, right? So Holland America has just announced that they are going to do a new 28-day Antarctic Circle crossing Greenland, and Iceland. So for this 28-day cruise, it's going to sail on June 29th of 2025. So you've got time to plan and budget for it, whatever you need to do. Clear your calendar. But they are going to go to 5 different countries, but the main focus is going to be on Norway and Iceland and Greenland. They're going to go to 4 ports in Greenland, which to me is remarkable. Plus, I think it gives us wiggle room if for whether one of them is canceled, you get a little bit better. And really, going at the height of the summer there is our best hope for good weather. Also, they're going to go up the coast there to Nordkapp, clear up at the top of Norway, and then come down and go to the Greenland and Iceland. You've got an overnight in Reykjavik. Like, how cool is that? When you look at the list of excursions for Reykjavik, Iceland, it's really hard to choose. So even if you wanted to hire your own tour guide and go somewhere far afield, if you get back to the ship a little late, it's okay because you've got that overnight. I love that they're doing this and kind of really changing the way it seems like some of the cruise lines to me, and I would love to hear what you think about this. It seems like some of the cruise lines are really trying to take a page out of some of the exploration cruise ship itineraries. You don't get off, it's not the same thing as you getting off the ship in the Zodiac and exploring quite the way the expedition ships do. But at the same time, they've got these port calls in these places with really amazing excursions. So if you want to go on a rib boat ride in those areas, often it's offered. If you want to do something a little more tame and go on more of a bus tour, it's offered, and everything in between. So I think it's a really interesting turn that these cruise lines are making a little bit in some of these voyages they're offering. And so let me know what you think about that. One thing that I really like about it is it makes it a little bit more affordable. As you look at a lot of the expedition ships, and it should cost more to go on an expedition ship. You do get what you pay for there, but at the same time, it makes visiting these amazing faraway places a little bit more affordable. And I just love the way that they are starting to do this a little bit. So I'm going to keep my eye out for more of those kind of cruises. So let me know if there are any cruises that you're thinking about or that you would like to know about. Like, what cruise line would you like to know that is going to some really cool places? Okay. Finally, I just wanted to let you know I am keeping my eye out for Carnival a little bit more since we're going on the celebration November 5th. It's a really big deal who the entertainment director is on the ship and who the cruise director is on the ship. Before we went on cruises, I had no idea that it was such a big deal. But with the Carnival Jubilee coming on board, they have just announced who the cruise director and the entertainment director are going to be on board. So the cruise director is, her name is Kindle. She goes by Fire, Magyar, and then the entertainment director is going to be Matthew Boyd. Really, their job, if you have not been on a cruise or on enough to realize this, their job is to try to make sure that everyone has a good time on the cruise. They manage everything from like your entertainment that's in like the main theater down to your trivia, your pool games, your contests, all of the fun things they do on board. Either the cruise director will be there or one of the assistant cruise directors, just to keep everything going. Try to include as many people as possible. So I was really excited to hear. I have heard of this cruise director in several different places just around on the internet. People are thrilled that she is going to be the new cruise director on the Jubilee. And I would like to hear from you if you have any favorite cruise directors and what is your favorite activity on a cruise ship. I know I give you a lot of things to comment on, but we have a lot to talk about together, don't we? So let me know what you enjoy the very most and what you look for first as far as entertainment goes when you get on a cruise ship. I really look forward to talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.